Now that looks a bit more like it. Yeah, I've tweaked it. It's now looking like I wanted it to look like. And it looks like it's actually listened to me about 42,000 litres. I think I've changed this. Obviously, I've been tweaking and getting rid of the old models and swapping it with this one, as we sort of saw. But yeah, it's got 42,000 litres in of butter one now. I must call it butter. Yeah, it's a mistake. It's just on the label inside. I just want to do this. At the time I was doing it, I was like, I really needed to understand what. So I needed to make a difference from one to another, so I could see what it was actually called. But I now need to do it so it looks more friendly to yourselves. So yes, I've been tweaking this as well. This is now a bit different. The board told me off for having it look as bad as it did, so we've changed this somewhat. Not quite sure. The straw plane is so big that it does look vaguely straw-like, but it needs to be much smaller. It's not getting the animation size right, but that looks a lot. It's still not. It's still grungy. The concrete. I thought but you can still make it look nicer than you did do. So I think I'm quite pleased with what the results. I've also covered the manhole cover. That was that was looking a bit messy too, so that's all sorted too, and that is obviously a bigger pipe, as we said, big enough to cope with the manure, and yeah, obviously better pumps as well. So I think I've covered my tracks. Should have, yeah, no, that's better. Yeah, you can see the straw is in there as well. Have I lifted it a little too much? And it did have metal plates before with the tiny bit of straw in between, as you can see, and I've maintained that, which I'm quite pleased about. You've got to be very careful when mucking around with a diffuse like this. Use a graphics file, let's call it, yeah, in human terms. Because if you get your things wrong, then you could end with your wood over here, and the grey is, just one tiny little millimetre is all the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong. So this is the new model. It's similar to the original Horman, but it's obviously with my own twist, definitely. And it looks I really did go for mega grungy. I mean, yeah, that's more like concrete. It did look. I was right. One of the comments I made in when I was talking about it looked like something out of. It did look something like out of Star Wars or Star Trek. I did actually quite like it, but hey ho, come on, this is Farm Simulator. Let's get with it. So yes, we are back on Frankenmuth. It looks like everything is right now. Did we have moving to do? It is November. What did we have to do? I think things were in green. I think we got a lot of stuff to do. So we've got some fertiliser. And we've got, which we can move that anytime. That's never really a worry. It's straws in yellow. We're not moving straw anyway. Oats. We've obviously got, oh wow, 150,000 litres. Seriously? Is that right? Or is it cheating? So I found something out yesterday. I think we should be safe, but the thing is, what I found was we saw, obviously, I think it was this year when it was doing that weird thing with that. Now, I'm not sure it was anything to do with what I thought it was. If you remember, we saw lots of butter. Well, the butter is right next to the dairy. It looks like, obviously, this is a form of storage. It's too close to this. So if it shows inside the tiny farm silo the same things as that's got, it starts to do some sort of multiplication glitch, which we saw. I've remembered the name of the map. On Riverbend Springs on day one, I actually put a production right next to storage because I thought, oh, well, it's less far to go for the... yeah, but it adds the storage to the production. But immediately in front of our very eyes, when I did that, it multiplied the oats that were inside. As I told the oats to go into the production, all of a sudden the oats went to about 150,000 litres. That's the consequence of having storage next to something like this, which sort of then beggars the question, although I'm wanting convenience, if I've got storage next to here, I don't think it's going to ever work because of this glitch that you've got on Farming Simulator. So this is alright, buying station's fine, it's not got any storage, but this, maybe it was a bad idea because of the way that Farming Simulator is working. So yeah, you've got to figure these things out as a modder. because it starts then to do weird things. So the thing is, if you look closely, also similar productions. Yeah, now if you look at this is a prime example. If you look at the self-sufficiency. Now I was wondering, I'd got potatoes because I've got the cannery with soup factory because it's got a potato element. So the self-sufficiency, it started to show potatoes in there, and I hadn't got anything on for potatoes, and I thought, well, I haven't even got potatoes in the storage. Oh yes I have, because if you look closely, we do pig food, and that has one of them has potatoes. So, but I moved all of the potatoes out on Rizu Forest. I'm just by a bit way of an explanation, because it sort of explains the why we were seeing butter, and why we've seen butter and eggs multiply when they go in storage. Because there's no way we ever did this amount. Now we know that I've not cheated, but look at that, 308,000 litres. No way have we ever done that amount of eggs. So what is happening? Well, the eggs are just over here. I presume they've got to be within reach of the storage limit. That must have quite a bit of a stretch where storage goes to. So these must be like... I know we did see these disappear on one of the things, which does sort of beg the question, sort of that, well, okay, maybe that is a thing, because I saw them disappear. But I think that's... Again, what makes this even more difficult is we've got the Logi transfer. Now, I think that's capable, that it's doing the eggs bit. But again, it's also... now I realise it works like this. How much is this responsible for the multiplication of the thing? We may find an update for the Logi transfer, and then it explains why this is doing so. In a way, obviously we've got it's a fantastic idea if it doesn't do weird things. But I'm not sure, and again, it might not be the Logi transfer. This is the trouble when you've got multiple mods in the way that do strange things. There can be strange consequences too. So, bottom line is, this is where it should be, but the eggs we're sort of ignoring. I don't know how we're going to cope. Rizu Forest was the same. I ended it. It was literally the last session yesterday, and I basically put a question mark on, well, I really don't know how well we did do, because... it's sort of the game is cheating. I don't know how, not to. The only thing I know to try to be careful of going forwards is putting similar, and let's be honest, I was saying this, on a lot of maps, map makers will give you a production slab. In other words, you're supposed to put your productions plural in that area. Well, the trouble is, if they are similar with similar things, they start to play around with each other. So really, productions need to be completely separate from one with a similar set of things inside. Otherwise, they work in, as we've seen, we've got quite a few production silos, and we have not switched things on, and they have moved stuff around because a production silo is likewise similar from one of it's exactly the same as its brother. The same constituent part is exactly the same as the other kinds, because they've got the same types, and if they're within close range. Now, they're not in close range, but two of them are. If you look across the road, you've got that production silo on, which really that shed is a production silo. The building that comes with it is something else, but that one is across the road to that one. But also, the other ones are not that far away from each other. I don't know the limit. It doesn't come with a warning. None of us do. We just put these things down and think they'll work. But those two are close together. So, but the thing is, what I am saying though is, we've seen the others also do the same. Yeah, 17 and 19 of also. It looks like any kind of production silo, of which we have quite a number, is mucking around with amounts. But I didn't see much of a multiplication with the production silos. It just seemed to travel from one to the other, and if you told it to go to where it needed to go to, the right production silo for the job, it did it. But obviously the eggs, we know for a fact we've definitely not done that. Now the milk and that I think's about right. It's a very powerful. The bionic dairy is powerful. It is doing a lot. And this has been done over a long time as well, so it's not really quite that simple. So let's get to business. Right, so butter actually typically is white now. So canola, carrot broth, so the soups are going higher. So we really need, right, so animals. Have we done the animals this day? Well, they're not bad. And they will do till the morning, I think, too. So we've done our last harvest. Have we got that ready to rock and roll? So that's in self-sufficiency. It should have the sunflowers in. Did we switch the biodiesel on? And it's got to be the right one. So it's that one indeed. So we want to activate. We don't want to spawn. We want to keep. Let's change all these to keep, actually. Yeah, this is mineral feed, keep, and yeah, solid fertilizer as well, because we are actually doing that. And the diesel we also want to keep. So right, brilliant. So that's all ready to rock and roll. And then we'll tell it to, yeah, we can actually buy a diesel. I think you can literally grab it with a tanker, I think, but we don't really matter. Obviously, we know I've said this. We are. I mean, I think I've done this proud now. We really have done some work, and I'm quite happy. How long have we been on the map as well? That's the other thing I'd like to know, because I have been here, 3 years. That's about a standard Let's Play as I used to play it in FS. Because this one did grow quite quickly. It was quite phenomenal. It flowed very nicely, and we sort of gradually growed quite quickly. We had a few lucky things with some of the equipment that we bought originally. So yeah, we did grow quite quickly. We've got a lot of equipment. We got a lot of all the production silos and things like that. We've got a lot of them all over the place. We've got a lot of fields. We really did blossom. So I'm quite pleased that I'm, ready to leave. I would have liked to do one more year, but again, we've got Oak City too, and although there's a bit of an overlap, I don't want to be doing sort of too much. I think we did this, Brad, in the sort of final bit, so we had all of this. In fact, let's just show that. I'm not ending it this minute. I'm just sort of, saying it's a precision farmland. There we go. We can see all of our green farmland. Is all of that there. Some fairly hefty fields, not for the map, but not, comparison. We started with this single patch here, actually, and the little tiny corner here that we made home, and then we bought this one, and then we bought 17, and then finally we bought 19, and split that into 3 as well. So we're doing very well with what we've done. So let's go through till December. Now if we switch that on, has it got everything it requires? That's the thing. The biodiesel is activated. What does it need? I think we did think of it. Did the digestate entire? It's doing. The digestate is doing. So yeah, digestate and sunflowers in equal proportion, plus obviously an expense to make this happen. Yeah, there's chemicals. That's why it's 120 per month, because it really does require. This might be expensive to make again, like the other one we saw when we saw that. So yeah, so we need to be making the digestate from slurry. Now this is what we were worried about, wasn't it? I remember now. Was if we just run through till willy-nilly, that's going to make a lot. So we need to keep our eye on this, on the digestate being produced. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to get silly. Let's keep our eye on that 13,000. Yes, I apologise for the boringness of this, but really we've only got this way to sort of handle it, and we want the digestate to be 30 odd tons, equal amounts to the other, and then we are ready. That'll do, I think. By the time we finish, just go through till 4, and then it really will be in equal measure to the sunflowers that we need it to be. Fantastic. That should do nicely. If we'd have gone through till the morning, it would have literally gone lots of digestate, and then we wouldn't have had any liquid fertiliser. So the biodiesel we leave on now, but we don't have the digestate from slurry. We deactivate that. So that's now off. So we've got digestate 35,000 litres, and we have sunflowers oh, it's done some already. Wow. It's not a slouch. This may be a bit over powerful, the self-sufficiency. I might need to tweak it down a little. Some of the products, though, I was gauging on Omatanas, which did 240,000 litres, like the hay and all that type of stuff. So I did do it on that, but I sort of, we've got 24 tons of diesel already. got some left to do, but yeah, so that was very quick, a bit too quick really, but it was very powerful equipment in there. Wink, wink. Yeah, no, I will knock it down a little. I'm trying to get it all balanced. I have also. I had a fail, and I expected it to fail. Giants failed it already, and I asked them and said, well, because they said that this mine was exactly the same as the Razek. So my little fertiliser spreader has been failed. So I thought, well, I'm going to celebrate because I'm still having it. So we have put a nice graphics diffuse on it, or I think it's a nice graphics diffuse. So it looks a bit special. So it doesn't feel out of thing that it can't ever be in the farming simulator world. Because Giants say it's exactly the same as the Razek. So yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not. It's just a shame because it is a real cracking bit of kit. And now Precision Farming's dropped, really, I'm not being funny. The bonus it's got is really immaterial because it never comes into play unless you're using base game. And even that, there's other people got the same bonus, not quite so. Mine's a 50%. I think the iMac has got a 20 or 25% bonus, so not quite as cheeky as mine, but it is still, nevertheless, it's got it. So. Right, so then, let's have a look. Is there anything that we do need to be selling? Anything going green, apart from solid fertiliser, which is always green, really, to be honest. So, eggs, we're going to ignore that, because there's no way we ever did that amount of eggs. Diesel's now worth that. Butter's white, and the beetroot, all the broths are coming close to reality. So let's now go through till tomorrow morning. And 9 o'clock. It's definitely getting late in the year for 8 o'clock starts. Yeah, so that's Rizu Forest has finished, and so has Oakbridge Farm. No, this is obviously, you will see this on Frankenmuth first, because I'm totally caught up because I was doing an episode a night. So, whereas obviously Oakbridge Farm and Rizu Forest, there's still a few, although Rizu, I've been publishing that sort of almost as soon as it's done too, so really Rizu Forest, and it will finish before Oakbridge, because Oakbridge has still got some to put up, but obviously they are both finished as of right now, the date above 6th of June 2025, so yeah, that is now finished, both of them. So English map, we are on Lady Hill by FS Landscaping, so I'm loving that. So there's a few weird glitches on all maps at the minute where you've got warp planes. Louisiana's broken, and it wasn't broken until the update, so I'm presuming that really it's the update that's broke it, because until the update was there it worked fine, and now it just doesn't load any placeables at all, where I've never seen any map where all my placeables were like rejected. It says something about underneath the map layer, so I have no idea. But then there's water coming up above the map layer that it shouldn't do. So, and that's the same on Lady Hill too. But it's not done anything to my building, so it's a bit of a weird one. Apologise. This is more of a news article, isn't it? Really. Like, let's get on with a little bit of work, shall we? So it is December morning. We need to be getting on with. Now we've got a lot of green now. So the parsnip broth and everything, and it's all going green. Triple, wow, so that's still yellow, the triple. So when should it be selling? It should actually be December, January. Pig food likewise is, my pig food's always green. That's always green. So what we really got to do before I'm going to class this as finished, is we have got an awful lot of, I'm not sure we're going to do this. Having looked at Rizu Forest and seeing how quickly it processes this little lot, there's a lot of stuff to process on this, isn't there really? Yeah, I mean, look, we've got 236,000 litres of red beets, and parsnips, 361 of that. Green beans, even green beans has got 49,000 litres. That's quite disappointing. If you'd bought the proper green bean harvester, I'm not sure you'd ever make your money back, because the yield is quite disappointing, really, for, like, the expense of the harvester. I mean, obviously with my harvester, it's actually quite reasonable. Again, I don't know whether I'm going to put this in for testing soon. I've got some nice diffusers for it. I don't know whether Giants will believe that, but yeah, so that's yellow still, so that's yellow. The beetroot, so some of the broths are ready to sell now, the carrots and the beetroots, and which should mean the parsnips too. The one that isn't is the triple, which is still, for some reason, lagging behind. Even though it shouldn't be, but it is. It's so we really need to be selling that because we've got a long way to go. I think we're going to need to run this another year. No, we'll just do what we did on Reza Forest. I'll just speed up the thing. What we probably will do though, because this is sort of, yeah, really we are at the end. We've done all that's affecting. Now what we need to do is process in our productions everything that. So really what I'm saying is we can do what we like. We can put a super down, and because this is what I'm finding. I believe this is I think it's a standard, and that will take a while to process this little lot. So if we stand on its plate, the info should tell us it's just a normal cannery with suit factory, and it's gonna take a lot for it to. The one thing I also got to do is obviously the bigger ones need to have more storage because they process more. I think they're all exactly the same. So you can see we're soon going to fill 74,000 litres. We've pretty much done it now. That's probably actually, thinking about it, why there's not much going on in there, because there's no room. It's, yeah, triple soup is out of space. That's exactly it, you see. Hang on a minute, it's not showing us we've got 70. Oh, it is. It is showing that you've got 71,000. Right, well there you go, you see. So what I'm thinking is probably, I mean, we could shove those all straight into a production silo. We could like just move it across to one of those. That would soon get rid of the out of space error, which I did on Mizu Forest. But what I'm thinking is if we're going to need to do things quickly, we ought to put a super down to make things up. Now, I don't know whether to do this as a... Well, I suppose we're going to earn the cash from doing it, because obviously I wouldn't normally do this. What I'm saying is, so we can stick this wherever we like, really. Now, the one thing I'm going to observe what I've just said, if you've got similar productions, then it can cause issues. So we're going to stick this production right over here, whereas if that can be got from there, then really, seriously, we need to, like Giants need to remake the entire game model, because then that's just terrible. So this is going to cost us, because it's the super dupers are like, yeah, quite a bit expensive. So we want the Canary Soup Factory. That's the standard. I think it should tell us now if it's like, yeah, bionic. That's good, but we need super because it needs to be super, basically. It really does. So 77,777. And we will stick that right up here so that we cannot. Well, again, this is partially testing. I am going to do a series on this because I've got to be honest. This isn't ever told anybody. Like this kind of things that I found. I've discovered a lot of this on FS25 where your storages start to affect things. Now, no one tells you that. It's probably why most map makers put your silo down to begin with. But to be honest, most people want multi-fruit and things like that anyway, or a production silo. So therefore you're going to put one down. Well, if you put it down in the wrong place, it starts to affect things. So yeah, I mean, again, I didn't realize if you've got similar things. So again, the desserts factory and this both have vegetables. It can do weird things. I haven't found it on this one though. Yeah, well, I've not found that we've got any like mix over of anything or that anything's, but then I can't see it because we already had a lot. So how would I know? That's what I'm trying to say. It's one of those situations where, all right, so we want to stick the carrot soup on, and we want to stick the. Have we got the noodle soup on this one? Did I actually start to use it? I didn't, did I? I did mention it a long time ago, really, because we've obviously got... Have we got any flour, though? Yeah, that is true. So let's do the normal soups. Parsnip soup. We haven't got any potatoes on this one. And red beet soup, and also the triple soup. Now, this, again, I'm going to literally stick the storages bigger on the bionic and bigger on the super to compensate for the fact they've got to have bigger storage because they're going to fill it quicker. It makes sense. So obviously at the minute they're all taken from the same model, so the stats are all the same. Well, I can obviously go out and tweak those as we've seen with me doing other things. So that's now calling for the ingredients to go to that to assist us in processing all of this huge amount of stuff that we've actually got. Now then, how are we doing on the luxury desserts that we've got? Again, they're all filled, aren't they? The parsnips and the carrots and all that type of stuff are all filled. Butter. So we really need the butter to be like distributed, don't we? Not actually selling. Why did I not think of that before? I'd probably come on in the middle of the night, so we don't want spawn at all. We want you on distribute, because we're not trying to sell you. Yeah, so we want that to distribute. So it made another 4 odd tons. So if we just go through till 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we're going to go feed the animals, because it is a live Let's Play. It should also push some stuff around as well. Right, fantastic. We made some money, or lost some money there, I don't know which. It's certainly... yeah. Right, so that should now... oh, my life, it's all gone. So butter has all gone, so that is good. So that should have gone to luxury desserts. Indeed it has, all of it. So that is quite amazing. And the amounts are about right. So, yeah, obviously there could have been a bit of butter kicking around in the others as well. So I'm not going to quibble. It's not going to doubled it or anything like that. So that's looking good. So the super cannery now should have some in. That's nice to see that is shifting. Excellent. And it's even starting to make the trip. Yeah, the soups are starting to make. So fantastic. And that one should be super duper. Again, some of these are subject to me tweaking a little because I've never done a super before. I've spoken about it. This is the maiden voyage of a super, really, on Frankenmuth. So I'm quite pleased with this. That it's got a groundbreaking for me. It's a personal moment for myself, obviously, because it's quite a big thing. So I'm quite pleased with where I'm going with the modding. I'm tweaking my trailer at the minute, but it was a bit intense, and I thought I just can't go with it today. Leave it alone. So it's in my test. I'm trying to do the animation for the ramps to come out, and it's probably my most audacious animation I've ever done. So yes, oh, I love the water on the road. That is a very nice touch. Right, so then we want to feed the animals, I believe, is where we were. Let's get on with this. Right, so then. Yeah, we really need the little one, don't we? So I'd imagine we need quite a bit. We also need to keep the... obviously we're doing the fertilizer. As I said, sort of, we're going to do everything that we sort of need to get this all finished. So quite a bit, at least 2 or 3 straw. We also need to keep that up if we're doing the manure. Manure's up to 60,000 litres inside now. I think I did the storage equal on the manure as I did for the slurry. So the slurry is 39,000. Yeah, we did literally grab it all out yesterday. So buffalo milk could wait till tomorrow. That's not really terrible. So need at least a couple of these. And we also need to see now, do the chickens need feeding? Because this is the... yeah, they do. About 5 tons. I think we got some in storage, if I remember rightly. I think we put it in the self-sufficiency on purpose, so we can dump it from here. Oh no, we can't. It's just it does the same thing. Yeah, it's that fantastic mod for sort of showing you additional actions, but sometimes it gets it wrong because actually it's not changed from dump to actually grab, if you know what I mean. Yeah, fill. So that should be getting some alike, and we need to have a look at that. One more, I would say, but we also want to fill it too. Yeah, so it's now I've found a lovely Oberschwagen by Yogi. I think it's Yogi or Jogi, but I think it's Yogi. I think it's a silent J. So yeah, I've done it, but I also didn't save the. Yeah, it must have been one of the sessions in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'm a bit groggy. and I obviously didn't save the game, or it went wrong. It was about the time when the updates, but I'm going to take that one on the chin. I think that'll be me. I don't think that's the game. It'll be. I've done it before a long time ago. It does usually show that I'm very tired if I forget like that, because I don't normally forget that. I think I just want to fill it afterwards. Yeah, so we were nearly there. That'll do. So now it should sort of do it itself, although you do need to be in proximity. I showed this on Reserve Forest because it wasn't dumping for the chickens. The chickens are all right for today. Then are we? Yeah, I don't think we've. How much? Let's just grab some manure of the old one. Now that we're. Yeah, I can't be doing with all this chopping and changing, so I'm just literally keeping the manure inside. I can't be doing. I'm going old school. I am my life. So we really out of slurry. So is there anything we can do with manure without slurry? Ooh, that would be a struggle for this. It really is. Yeah, there's something not quite right with this tractor as well. It was so I'm gonna this is another thing that I'm gonna have a go of. We need to get rushing as well, because this snow is eventually going to settle, and then it's going to be like lights out for any kind of movement. So what can we do with manure, just manure in the self-sufficient side? I don't think a lot. I think, yeah, the fertiliser, we will have literally... Oh, no, we've got plenty of manure. It's more slurry. That we're out slurry. Digestate. I would imagine we've finished our biodiesel. So that can be switched off. Looks like we've finished our fertiliser, because I think we're out of slurry. Yeah, we are totally out of slurry. So, strangely enough, we've got a shed load of manure, but not much slurry. Which I don't know how that one works, really, but got an awful lot of solid fertiliser as well. A little bit of tea mulch is overspill, not actually what we've been doing. So we've got a lot of manure in there. Is that? No, we've not got that amount of manure, so it can't be reading it. We must literally have filled that. So I don't think there's anything I can do with fertiliser. Yeah, it needs digestate. So I don't think there is anything we can do with just manure. Yeah, but all of that, we could do manure from straw. Oh, well, that's why we've got so much manure. We've stolen all of the... Oh, I'd forgotten. Yeah, I was doing it a while back. And this is what happens when you stick your productions on. We've run out of storage as well. And it can't go back in. You've done it now. Oh, the eggs are... I mean, I am right as well. The eggs are obviously being whisked away. And I've got to be honest, we have got a lot of chickens. So I know that some of it really will have gone legitimately places. The same as the honey. We would have a shed load of honey up here, but it's being whisked off by the transfers. So I'm going to sort of try and have to do a bit of testing to see if I can get to the bottom of how all of these rules and these mods are actually working, because I like the transfer. It's really quite nifty. It's brilliant. Excellent. Right, so then that's the animals fed, and a little tiny bit of buffalo milk, but we're not worried about that. The eggs are disappearing as fast as they're coming, so I'm not worried about that either. So we've got everything should be not moaning now. That's, yeah, now this is what we need to distribute a little bit. We need to ask one of the silos, the main per silo. Very well spelled, Mr. Smith. Very well spelled. Oh, the P silo. Oh no, actually, I think it was main production silo. Yes, no, I wasn't. That's exactly what I did mean to do. Production silo. That'll be the one across the road. Is it telling the oats to actually distribute? That's what we need that on. No. We need to distribute the oats. And we may as well, while we're here as well, ask this to grab some of the... Oh, now that is a point. I don't know that I've ever switched. So we want oats distributing. Yeah, I've not actually put my sort of field types in here. I did a test with one of them, I think with the carrot soup, just to see can I add my... yeah, and the road salt too. That's another one that was added to test to see can I add additional things. Maybe not this one, but I have done it. So some of these then are different. Some of my now that has only got a few things in it, the tiny animals. I did that on purpose so that it was only doing farmyardy type stuff, which I thought was quite good. And I've done it to 47,000. I thought that's not too big. Wow, it's got a lot of eggs in it. Right, so Kangaroo Soup Factory. That's it's the beets. It's the soup that's really bad. So I think we do need to tell everything to spawn, and we need to go and like shift that out of the way. Because the thing is, the time-saving top blah 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 blah. The time-saving, it is quite a mouthful, isn't it? Actually, stock check. It knows now if things are outside a silo, so it shows its worth. No, the other one is actually right here. I would like to use this one. I quite like this. So if we stick this, just move it off the spawning one. So this is where this is off the soup one, isn't it? Cannery with Soup Factory. So we need to shift these off this like so, and then others will spawn. And we need to do the same with the luxury desserts, which actually that's not got any spawning because I think we've told it to keep. So we can just grab these and like that. Yeah, now the soups are just coming through. So the desserts factory, we need to now tell them to spawn. I believe we got it on keep at the minute, so we want. Now we want to change output, so we want everything on spawn now because we've got too much of everything. So spawn. Yeah, we'll just spawn everything really, because it does all of them, doesn't it? If you do just keep the pig food. Yeah, that's it. So everything should now spawn. And that shouldn't be any fault with that, because that one worked a long time ago. But it is a different model. I'm amalgamating models to try and make my mods a bit tidier, because it was a real mess. With being a modder, I'd really made quite a mess of it. And just push these really. It should be good enough. Oh, we're putting them back in now. That's not so good. Yeah, so have we got an error then on that? Enhanced dairy. No, there's no red errors. It's not saying it can't find it. So have we not got any in the... We should see that we've got... no, we really haven't got any. There's 86 litres, so really what we've got over there is what we've got. Right, fantastic. So we are actually in business then. This one, though, we do know, because we've just seen it. We need to be very careful not to push it back in, because we're a little bit too close to our spawning place. And then obviously we should also tell the other one, mind you that we've got a bit of space with the super, and did we... Just trying to think, did I have the super in time to do the test? In other words, have I had it for a month? I've confused myself now. I think, did we put it down this morning or yesterday? Yes, I've got to be paid. That's trouble. It is, I can say this and I do mean it. It's obviously talking to yourself, so it takes all my concentration to talk and work, but I've got no sort of brain power left for anything else. It's only through years of chatting and working that your skill becomes automatic, so you can get away with working because you know how to work without any kind of thought at all. So, and obviously all of us know how to talk very well, although I must admit I'm not a good talker. Yeah, the game has assisted me in that, because I realise, I'm a friendly chap. I always so that helps. I remember on Lonoke, when I first started to create content in FS19 at the end, it always sticks in my mind. I said a comment that I'm speaking. The reason I can be so friendly on chat is because I'm speaking to friends I've not met yet, and it's true. That's exactly what empowers me to be able to speak to you like I'm speaking directly to you. Whereas really, I'm speaking to a camera because I'm really speaking to you, who will be watching. You know, rather than obviously at this precise moment I'm talking to myself. But I'd sound funny if I wasn't talking to yourselves. Right, this is doing well. I think I might make this double thickness as well, where it's doing 2 lines. Yeah, I want to make the tweak this all a little bit so it's a nicely oiled machine. Yes, these are other ones that I think they're not far off. I want to change, because at the minute everything's January. I think I've tweaked one of them. I want to obviously let some to be January, some to be March, some to be June, you know, like, so that it's a bit that all my products aren't the same, like is in the game as well. I'd like to do that too. I'm double handling this, but you can't really be helped. At least, oh wow, I'm surprised at that spawned with me being here. It's usually a bit more choosy. Well, not always though. Right, so then let's have a look. Is that like lowered the amount in the cannery? We should have. Oh my life, not by a lot. Gordon Bennett. Oh no, it has. Yeah, it's going down a little. So the parsnip broth and the beetroot broth was still loading. All right, okay, we need to do a bit more then. At least we're stacking them into piles, so it's not like we're waiting. Mind you, we are wasting our time in a way. We've got to do this more for the storage, because obviously we can't produce anymore. But it's not really for any other reason, because, as I said, the time-saving stock check can work out that we've got this on the ground, even if it's not inside the production. Like, it didn't used to be able to, but it can now. Yeah, it didn't used to read that, because I remember in FS25 I was always saying, yeah, well, it can't read it, and it couldn't, but now it can. So it's fantastic. I'll do 2 or 3 more of these, and I think it should be not too far off with this. And then I'd like to see, well, we can sort of say we switched to super on. Did we go through? No, it just filled it, didn't it? No, we did an hour. No, that's it. Yeah, that's true. We only did an hour to fill it, so we've not gone through it. We did put it down this morning. Yes, but for my tired brain, it's yeah. I'm off work today to do some work, so I thought I'd quickly get an episode in before I get cracking, which I ought to be going down and having my breakfast in a few minutes. So. Fantastic, let's get this out as well. Oh, okay. Oh my life, that was a little bit not as expected. Oh, that's going to fall weird, because obviously that was not what we tried to do at all. Okay, that's what happens when you're in the spawn area and you're busy working and not expecting something like that to happen. Right, so let's try and shift out the way quickly. Can we use this as a batting, like to bat that left if we turn quickly? I think we should be able to. Yes, I think that's out the chevrons. That should be good enough. Yeah, that's on top of there, it's true. It's weird, isn't it? Our mods do this swaying still when we're near other mods. These are the same mods. It's just strange to see them swaying because they're near to their compatriots. Right, let's have a look. Have we lowered the storage now to a reasonable amount? No, that's a super. This is the one we need to be looking at. Well, the parsnips are a bit stubborn, aren't they? They're not coming out to play. Right, okay. So what are you? You are a beetroot broth. So again, mind you, this was the other one that wasn't. So Let's do a little bit more, because it seems we still need a little bit more of the others out. Otherwise, it's just going to run out of storage quickly. This is not going to be square, unfortunately. So I've come at an angle. To make things difficult for myself, of course I have. It would be me if I didn't try to make it difficult. It's my middle name, Mr. Contrary. Not that I tried to be, of course. It's just that this is just... I am a terror. I am pleased where I am, though. These factories are really... Ooh, wow, look at the swaying now. You're getting more and more of them in the same area. Let's have a look. What are you? Parsnip broth, we get in there. This is what we wanted to shift a little. Oh yes, we're on to the parsnips now. Oh, okay. Let's take you as well then. I love this 5,000 litres though. This is, oh, so triple broth as well. Yeah, it is. It seems that the more of anything you put close to it, the more they sway. Brilliant. Right, we'll do this last one. And then we will go through. There's nothing more for us to do other than process and see how well we process and that type of thing, really. We fed the animals. We put the super down. Yeah, I'm just trying to think whether we do the luxury desserts or not. Right. Ooh, slightly on a... Right, has that made it? Please tell me it has. Yes, it has. The parsnip broth is going down. The beetroot a little bit too. Triple broth is half gone down too. So yeah, we've dinted that seriously. The carrot broth we all totally. So it must do it in order that you actually did it. The carrots obviously were done first because we took almost all of those out. In fact, we did every last 5,000 litre pallet we took out the carrots. So it's strange how it actually does it, but at least you can sort of see the inner workings, which I actually like to do, so I can figure things out. It's probably always had that ability to see through systems. Always. I think it was I was a game master as for role-playing games as a young man, which means that you're playing with systems, and I used to be able to see through the system and pick the system up. So it probably is, but I'm very dumb in other ways. I am allowed to say that about myself. I am. It's some obvious things. I've said this. I can see through complicated things, but you give me something simple, and I'm like, how does this work? It's true. I do not know what it is about. Yeah, it's just it's a skill, a bad one on my sort of thing. So, right. So we've got everything going. We've got the new one going too, and it's happy. We have the self-sufficiency. Obviously, there's not going anymore. We've done everything, so we'll stick that as well. We don't want you going anymore. I think you're completely done everything you need to do. So how much did we get in the end of the biodiesel? 67,007. It doubled it, basically, with the digestate, and obviously the chemicals were the main thing. That so the manure's finished too because it ran out of space. Solid fertilizer is done and is finished too, so we've done all that we can because we're totally out of slurry. Well, almost totally out of slurry. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's piling up again a little. 40 odd tons. So yeah, buffalo milk as we've seen. Let's go through till January. Oh, well, it's selling? No. I think what we'll do is we don't really need to sell. We just need to look at max value, because obviously we would sell them now, but if we're sort of closing this down and just processing what we've got, all we need to do is look at this amount here and the best possible price, which will be over here, because that's when we would sell it. We don't need to physically sell it. The other thing we need to do is add 50% on, so that would be almost 3 million, not 2, because we would sell all of our goods at our own self-marketing self-sufficiency. So yeah, I'm not worried that they're in yellow or anything like that, because it doesn't really matter. We're not sort of selling them per se, we're just totting up. Really, we may as well. I don't mean it nasty, but it's going to take more than this one session, though. But what I mean is we've done all of the work. We weren't going to do any more farming. So it really is a matter of like, well, how well did we do? And I think, to be honest, this one's going to be smacking the ball out of the park. Yeah, which is quite unexpected. Let's go through till January then. I'm not bothering looking in the sales. It is pointless. I did used to, but you sort of like, well, it's got no impact on the Let's Play. Why would you waste yours and everyone else's time, even though you enjoy looking at the sales? It's got no impact on what you're doing anymore. So there's no point. It's pointless. And it's a waste of time. So yeah, I'm acquiescing to sensibleness. Ooh. Right, so then, yeah. Ooh, we sold 100 chickens. So, no, I've just said I'm not looking in there, so it's old habits. Yeah, everything's on green. Oh my life, look what we're doing. So how are we doing in the super cannery? We are doing very well. Oh, pig food as well. Triple broth is good and better. Yeah, we need to increase this. That's what I said. That's a little bit too powerful. Although I did say this. This is based upon the original, like, little soup factory. So it goes double and then double. So some things, like flour is a good example. It really does. Even the most weak flour factory really does produce a lot of flour. So certain things are produced sort of quite well. So with the soup factory, I think it's because it's dealing with massive amounts. You would expect it to do quite a lot, because it's got to, because it's dealing with hundreds and thousands of litres of stuff. So that is all coming in nicely as well. Yeah, that's doing quite amazingly. No, they are fairly much 29. And again, we all know that sometimes it doesn't come in equally. Like, you've got more parsnips and you've got the eggs are coming in little, and carrots, yeah, they're different amounts. For some reason the red beet's not liking coming in very quickly. So, and then we've got a normal. It is slowly ticking up too. So yeah, that's not so slowly. So yeah, it's between the two of them, it really is doing very well. And we've got that's finished now, and there's the other things, the luxury desserts. Yeah, no, it's coming up. It was down to, I mean, that might be a little bit too powerful, the luxury desserts. I think this may need tweaking now, because that's in one. It had 0. It's got 10 tons. That's a little bit much, really. So yeah, I need to, again, this was its maiden voyage. I was quite celebratory of being on Frankenmuth, because obviously I brought that in. I wanted to sort of road test it, but also celebrate Frankenmuth with something unique. So yeah, we've done that, but I now need to tweak it down to a reasonable amount, so it's not, like bursting through with like 2 5,000 litre pallets a month is a little bit too much, I think. So yeah, for the bionic maybe, or the super, but not for the normal. Again, when I first brought this out, I did say this, the luxury desserts was like, it was an unknown quantity because I'd never used it before, so I need to tweak it down now. I can see that. The dairy? Is it? Oh, it's distributed, so you're not going to see any, are you? I was going to say, why am I not seeing any? That's because it should be going to the luxury desserts now, because we've told it to go. And wow, it's still got loads in as well. Amazing. What are we short of? They're all busy, so we've got. So it is true then. Obviously the honey in that. Oh my life! Look at the honey we've got. It's doing really well. Yeah, I mean, obviously that distributor, the transfer thing, is doing a fantastic job, because we haven't shifted any of those in a long time. That is amazing bit of kit. I would really like to have a good look at how the modder did it. Yes, I'm quite impressed with that kind of jiggery-pokery of moving stuff, because it is a production where you move things from one thing to another, so I think it's an amazing bit of an idea. Of course, Nikki did it first, I think, in FS22 with the honey one and the eggs one, and I think it was Nikki that did it. It's quite amazing. She transports things from one place to another, and I did look at it once and I was scratching my head because that system was a bit too complicated. I was thinking, oh, I have no idea how you did that, Nikki. It was an amazing bit of kit, but I thought, well, there's some things I'm going to leave to modders who understand things really complicated quite quickly. So yeah. Right, so then how are we doing? Animals. Well, I think they're alright. And they would last another day, as another month as well. So I think we're going to go through. Now, what sort of scale are we talking about on the dealing with? Because I think we might need to. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in all of these within reason, but how much have we got left to process? So it's not going to have like into that 260 odd thousand litres, has it really? Yeah, I mean, we've got a long way to go. So I think there's going to be a few. I think what we're going to probably do is, I mean, look at the amount. Yeah, what we've got left to do. We've got 109,000 litres of triple broth in total. Of course we have, because it's, yeah, I think in another couple of months we will have filled the storage again in both the super and the normal cannery. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down for breakfast, but I'm going to tweak the storage settings on the super. I'm going to leave the standard alone because that should be just as it is. And well, next session we're going to do a little bit more of this, the totting up stage. I think we're going to do like we did on Reason Forest, due to the amount of stuff we've got to process. I think this is going to take us right the way. Now, the other thing is, what are we actually doing with the oats? I think we were supposed to be sticking them in the self-sufficiency and making mineral feed. Is what I think I had in mind for that. The oats. It's the only thing that makes sense, because we're not doing any like. Well, no, we were, weren't we? The Luxury Desserts does a bit of flour, doesn't it? Yeah, so actually, did the oats, or did we buy the oats? I think we did, and the wheat. So this is not ours, so we're not waiting on this being processed. Again, it might have. So did we do oats this year, though, in a big way? We should have. I'm sure one of them has got a lot of oats. Work alarm to say go to work. Well, for once I can ignore it. So then one of these, I'm sure, had oats. I think we just told it to distribute, so. Carrots, a lot of carrots, parsnips, red beet, straw and stones. Yeah. So then where is the oats? Where are they sitting? Because I'm sure we got quite a lot. Yeah, 109,000 litres we've got of oats. Yeah, so we did do some. So really we ought to be sticking the self-sufficiency on, and then I'm going to scoot. So we want to be sticking the mineral. I believe we might need to buy digestate for this. I don't mind buying one input if we're going to do. Yeah, so it's that one we want to be on. So we'll do a 77,000 litres. Stones we've got plenty, so that should call for that too. And we just need to, yeah, 7,000 litres in already. So let's just grab a tanker if we can shift the tanker in this weather. So I'm not sure we will be able to, so we need to buy. We do have a buy point just over there. Let's see, how can we do? Oh, it's coping quite nicely. Yeah, so it's all moving on a pace. I'm quite pleased with what I've done with the cow place. It does look a little nicer than, oh, it's not wanting to turn because it's slipping on the snow. Yeah, it does. I think it still looks grungy enough. It's like still looks like it's seen better days, but oh, my life, it did. May as well fill that straight away before we. Sorry, apologies. I've gone the wrong way. It's not far now. Yeah, TMR. May as well do a dump, haven't we, of this in the. And then we'll fill it. So I don't think we've got very much to do really for the No, these were quite good. I just think we're going to fill that. And then we can't do the chicken foods. My bad. Yeah, we'll leave that because I'd like to do the chickens tomorrow morning. So we're not going to... we do need to move you back a little bit as well, to give the tanker a bit of room. And then we're going to fill this with digestate. Oh, we're not. We can't move. I did wonder if this would happen. Let's just see, can we do a run-up? You wait till it's filled with 77,000 litres, then it's certainly not going to want to shift at all. Now, I'm going to let that get... Ooh. Yeah, I'll let myself... Oh, okay. Why is it doing fill and then not letting me fill? Are we a bit too far out? Shouldn't be at that. Digestate, that's what we want. So that's the short. I'm not sure we'll get this shifted, but we'll have a go. It is very heavy for this beautiful... yeah, I'm really glad I've modded this one. I just can't wait till I can figure out how to do the rear hitch on it. Yeah, I need to come to terms with these change nodes that... lorries and other equipment has. Also, the other thing I realise I've never done yet is colour configurations. I know how to do it, but that's not the same as doing it. So I want to do it on a couple so that it becomes part of the course. I think we just about manage it. It's just turning a little. Right, smashing. So then I'm going to leave it there. We're going to do at least another one session. The next one might be a time-lapse one, because I think to process this lot, I'm expecting, a bit like Rizu, for us probably to get right the way through to September. I think it's going to be that big a process of all of this goods, even with supers and that. We may have to do it. Although I think, to be honest, that's more like a bionic at the minute. The luxury desserts is like a bionic at present. So we'll leave it as it is, because we are literally exiting the Let's Play, or trying to catch up. So we'll leave that as it is for now. We do need to sell that sort of thing, although we don't really. It just needs to sort of be showing. So yeah, that's where we leave it. Yeah, all that remains to be said is I hope you'll remain with me on the rest of this to see how well we did, because I think we're going to... literally, well, we are going to be millionaires. We are definitely millionaires already. We're sitting on an absolute shed load. If you times that, that's 3.3 million we're sitting on if we sold everything right now. That's our own self-marketing, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of cash. So, but bearing in mind we've got all of our fields, equipment, livestock, all the rest of it. So I think these are all totally adults now, aren't they? I think, yeah, that's what I say. Once they get to 500 odd, they really do become quite ferocious with the eggs. They're amazing. Yeah, so they'll be the youngest. Yeah, they're all reproducing now. So literally 493 layers. That's a lot of layers. It really is. I do love this little shed. Well, it's a big little shed, but yeah, it's maybe once making a little bit bigger, I would say. Even for that, for 500, it's a bit cheeky, but yeah, sometimes you got to be a bit cheeky. Right, so yes, hopefully you'll join me next session to hopefully watch the conclusion of this fantastic map. Really do love it. It is an amazing map, and I definitely would highly recommend. It is a very typical American map, the traditional type American map that we've seen over the years is that kind of map, and it's nice to play a map like this every now and again. There's also a lot of American maps that are getting a lot more character though as well. They're not just flat, massive things with nothing but a couple of buildings on and a big fields. Some are becoming quite nice as well. So yeah, Louisiana's got a lot of character. I really do like that. It's a really smashing map. Right, so then, all that remains to be said is goodbye for now.